Hello everyone. In this video I want to go ahead and show you how to go ahead and fix any errors on a controller that you may have fixed or created and connected. So in this case I actually made a mistake accidentally, and I noticed it as I was continuing recording the labs, that my root controller here is not supposed to have orient constraint on it. It's supposed to be parented to the root control. So in order to fix this, what I'm going to do is I don't need to unparent anything. I need to go into Windows, General Editors, and Hypergraph Connections. Excuse me. Now in here, in my Hypergraph Connections, make sure you do graph and input-output connections. And in here, you'll notice that my root joint orient constraint is in here. And what I need to do is there's no way to delete this unless you actually delete the entire controller. And there's no way to select the actual orient constraint without highlighting your Hypergraph connections. So what you do in here, let's just say I don't have anything selected. Hypergraph connections. I'm going to select my root control, and then in my connections here, my Hypergraph hierarchy, I'm going to go to root control. Now I'm going to do graph input output, and now from this point I'm going to select my root orient constraint, and you'll notice that's the only way to select this because it's not an actual object in the scene. It's more of like an attribute that you need to select, and you can't select an attribute without going into the Hypergraph here, the connections editor, Hypergraph connections. So I'm going to select my root joint orient constraint 1, and I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to select my root controller, shift select the root joint, and press P. I'm sorry, undo that. I'm going to select my root joint, shift select my root controller, and press P. So now my root control will control everything like so. And in the labs coming up, you will be able to see that your knees actually bend using this, using the up, down, left, right, and it will be able to also rotate. Okay, so that's just one little error I noticed I made. I got a little orient constraint happy, so that's the way you fix it. Otherwise, if that's a little too confusing, unparent the root joint or the root controller, edit, unparent, then delete the controller, and then create a new one, and then parent it back and parent this waste control to your root control, and then parent the root joint to your root controller. Okay, so if you have any questions, message me. But just a quick little fix I wanted to show you. So the only way to select something like that is through the Hypergraph connections, and it's really useful to know if at one point you do make some errors, because it's a faster way to fix it. That covers everything I wanted to cover in this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.